are you doing, Richard?
Hey, I mean, you know, I don't go to therapy anymore, so I don't like to answer those questions.
Can you tell me why you're here?
Someone asked me to come up here.
Oh, all right.
No, why I'm in the film?
In the film.
Oh, there's a hell of a lot of reasons. I rescheduled a lot of things because initially the first thing was I read the script and I was taken by it, and when I knew that Amy Heckerling was attached to it, then it was a no-brainer that I would try my best to be able to clear the decks to do the film. So it was the script first, because if I didn't like the script or didn't think the role was something that I could do well in, remains to be seen, I wouldn't be here. But I always wanted to work with Amy. She has her reputation was fabulous, and she's turned out to be just a wondrous woman to be directed by. Director, rather.
So tell me, what is the film about?
Well, I hate answering those questions because I don't like to give away too many secrets, to be honest with you. But there's certainly a vampire arc to this film, but it's a love story, and I'm sort of the love interest in this film. I don't want to give away too many of those secrets, but I play an ACLU lawyer, and somehow I had been involved with vampires in another time of my life, and it all sort of comes together in a beautiful way, and I'm able to use my legal background to help the vampires, as if, because they're a minority, and I'm all for helping, civil rights, and vampires deserve, good vampires, the good vampires. I like to help good vampires. I emailed Sigourney Weaver, and the other part of it too, which came second, was the cast is so ridiculously great. I mean, the list is endless, but there are some people that I've known, I've never met Sigourney. I'm not going to be working with her. And I emailed her. I said, I'm so disappointed you're not sucking my neck. I'm really, it would have been a highlight for me. It would have been on the reel. Even if I sucked on if Sigourney Weaver was sucking my neck, it's on the reel, But we emailed back and forth for a while, and I was telling her some of the films that she did that still stick with me. One in particular, with Roman Polanski, and Sir Ben Kingsley, was Death of a Maiden. It just doesn't get much. Her range is ridiculous, and she's just going to the role she has as a vampire in this film is going to be just. I can't wait to see it. The scenery is burning now as we speak, and also being a cinema buff, there are two young actors back when I was in college who were fortunate enough to be not only brilliant, but to get, to be loved by famous directors. And one was Jean-Pierre Léard, and the other was Malcolm McDowell. And to be able to work in the film with Malcolm was just a joy. We've become really fast friends, and it's been really a highlight also to be here to hang out with Malcolm. We know each other for a while, but we've never had this. We've really become really good friends on the shoot, so it's been really thrilling.
Have you had any other favorite moments on the set?
Well, it's without sounding too pretentious, when I'm doing acting, it's like I really don't think of much else but who this Danny Horowitz guy is, and I hide out a lot, and sometimes people think. Like I have a big scene coming up my last day when I wrap Wednesday, and the producers are all really wonderful, and I was asked to go out to dinner tonight, and I come off like, I don't know, it's because I just sometimes like to hide out and just, I'm more fun when I rap. I'm great when I rap or before the film starts. I'm a hell of a lot of laughs, but I just take it so seriously. Even sitcoms, when I work in, like at Curb Your Enthusiasm, I hide out. I've been doing it for 11 years with Larry David on HBO, and I don't know. I just like to focus on what I'm doing. So I'm not, you know, like during the day if we're not shooting, and like say if Malcolm's we're hanging out in the trailer, we have a lot of laughs. But once it's close to you know, coming to the set, I know I'm not answering your question, but I'm just not a lot of laughs when I'm on the set. A lot of the times when I'm really close to me working, because I just take it deadly serious. And even though it's sort of a fun role and it's a lighthearted role, I will say this: you know, I do most of my work with Alicia Silverstone, and I heard a lot about her, and you know, it was very important for me. I didn't know her personally; we weren't friends, but she just is just a very special actress and a very special person, and she has made me feel like $1,000,000, and had it gone the other way, it would not have been as fun. She just on action. I can see why she's iconic in many ways. She's just a very special actress and a great lady and terrific woman. I feel really I'm honored that I'm playing in a sense opposite her. She's great.
Being that you play this role very seriously, how did you prep for this role?
Well, I canceled a lot of gigs, so I had about 2 or 3 weeks, and I like to hang out at the Chateau Marmont a lot, and I broke down the script because it's out of sequence, and as soon as I landed, went right into wardrobe, 14 outfits, and then the next day was one of the biggest scenes in the film. And so I had plenty of time to break down the script. And if you don't, you know, you're in deep trouble, because, you know, I was on page, you know, like 90 the first day I shot. So I had plenty of time to prepare, not just lines, but I mean to prepare about attitude and stuff. And you know, it remains to be seen whether my preparation was worthy or not. But I really worked hard before I got here. So when I landed, I was ready.
So VAMPS is a romantic comedy.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious, but it's not just hilarious. It has a lot of layers to it that I think are important. I mean, the fact that I'm an ACLU lawyer, I mean, it's a metaphor. What some of these vampires are going through and how they get abused by these vampire hunters. But, you know, I don't know what liberal means anymore, but I'm glad to be playing an ACLU guy, and I'm glad to represent some of these good vampires. I mean, there's good vampires and there's evil guys and women, but you know, I'm helping the good ones, and it's fun, and it's a love story, and I'm also working with an old friend, Mary Lou Henner, who plays my wife in the film. And there's a lot of twists and turns in that plot. She was sensational. So, you know, I'm working with a lot of friends, and it's a quick shoot. And I'm sort of melancholy today because I have one more day on the film, and then I go back on the road and have about 8 or 9 concerts. And it's been a pleasure not to think about stand-up after 40 years almost. But I got to get back into that head. So I have another day and a half of just hanging out on a movie set, which I love, you know, and then I have 4 or 5 episodes of Curb to shoot when I get home, so, which is like, you know, it's like a set, but there's nothing like a movie set, and particularly with these actors, it's been a thrill.
Can you tell me anything funny that's happened on the set?
Well, I mean, you know, I had never done a film when I know that there's special effects, so like the first or second day, when I find out that Alicia's a vampire, and I see her open her mouth and, you know, and open up a guy's stomach and bite a guy's neck, it's, you know, I had to really, you know, play it real. But I mean, the special effects will take place afterwards, but I really had to really, you know, suck it up basically without losing it, because it was, you know, it's like what you hear about, you know, in these horror stories and horror movies, or you got to play it for, you know, you're not seeing anything. But she opened her mouth pretty wide. I gotta give her a lot of vampire credit. She was, I mean, it was just really, you know, when I was watching a lot of the vampire scenes for the first time, to me, just personally, internally, it was very funny because they all did it very well, and you know, and I had never really experienced as an actor that kind of having to react to something that's not really happening, and I must say, Malcolm McDowell is not only an iconic actor, but one of the most brilliant, one of the funniest guys I've ever known, and you know, he keeps everybody in stitches like for the entire shoot. He's, I just, you know, it's just been too good to be true working with this guy.
Now, you're playing an ACLU lawyer.
Right.
Do they have any other kind of costumes you have to change into, or are you?
No, I wear black. Well, I've been wearing like black suits and clothes. I wear like everything, you know, for like the last 30 years. You know, I feel like a peacock who escaped a mental institution in some of these clothes. But you know, this, you know, you know, the Mona, who is sort of this legendary costume designer. She's fantastic. You know, we talked about what I thought the guy should wear, and I landed, and she really nailed it. She's brilliant. She's really, and she's passionate. The thing that's good about a lot of the, most of the, I would say, that's just an assassination attempt. I wouldn't worry about it. Is that a rat? I hear a rat.
Here's a chair.
You sure it's not a rat?
Yeah.
Really? I think it's an animal.
Okay.
But he's closer to you, so I mean, I would protect you, but unless he was actually biting you, then I would. You know, because I have a lot left in my career, and you can go to a hospital in Michigan, well, because I have shows to do. You wouldn't be upset with me, would you? Okay. Where was I?
We were going to talk about Amy Heckerling. What's it like working with her?
Amy Heckerling has, I've worked with, you know, tons of directors. She, I would have to, first of all, she's a great director. And, but her attitude is very important. Attitude on a set is very important. You know, there are some people in different, who can be testy, impatient. There's not a modicum of that with Amy. You know, she's wondrous. I mean, she's very grateful. I would have to say she's at the point in her life where we had a nice talk the first week because we had both gone through a lot of stuff. The older you get, you know, the more stuff happens in life that's sad. And we were both, you know, we like each other, and we were talking about stuff, and what came out was she says, "Hey, how bad can it be? We're on a movie set, basically." And I go, "Yeah." I mean, she really is grateful for what she does for a living, and she's very grateful that she's making a film, and you don't really get a lot of that from a lot of directors. She's truly happy doing what she's doing, and it's spread, and it really does filter down from the top to most people, and she's loved on the set. It doesn't happen often, and I'm glad I experienced it.
Now, before working on VAMPS, did you have a favorite vampire film that you watched or seen?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really good friends with Jonathan Winters, and he loves all the vampire movies and the Wolfman movies, and you know, I was knocked out by Bela Lugosi. In fact, I almost tried to buy his house in Hollywood. That's how crazy I was. But the 20-foot fireplace in the kitchen scared me, and I ran out screaming, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I asked the realtor, I said, "I want to go to the basement." And he went, No, nobody goes into the basement. Well, I move in here. He said, "No, nobody goes down there." I ran out. I said, "That's stupid. Why would I even think about buying a house? No one can see." He said, "No one can see it." He was even, I don't do impressions. He went, "Nobody can see the basement." And then the realtor had a cape on. The whole thing was insane. But it has Bela Lugosi's house. It's historic. I love Bela Lugosi's Dracula. It was, you know, I mean, Dom DeLuise, if he would have done it, might have been good. Hamilton, a friend of mine, you know, he did some good movies, but no one's Bela, you know. I mean, I loved the ones that were taken seriously, you know. Then they did, you know, when when it was the Wolfman and Dracula meet Abbott and Costello, I got bummed out a little bit. That was for the money, probably.
What kind of film did you watch growing up then? What was?
Let's just say this. I like the great comedies, and I like dark films, foreign films. So, I'm a Cassavetes, Bergman fan, and I also, I love French films, and I love foreign films. But then, I just really love, I like, they make a lot of great foreign films, but this film has a great market, I believe, because, there's a lot of vampire movies now, obviously, but this is a very well constructed script. It's a terrific love story. It's hilarious in many places. It's a great comedy. And I was telling Alicia, one of the most perfect comedies I've ever seen was To Be or Not to Be with Benny and Carol Lombard, and it was Carol Lombard's last film, sadly. I think she died in a plane crash soon after. But I don't have to be grandiose, but Jack Benny was great in that movie, but Carol Lombard was beyond spectacular in that movie. And it was a Lubitsch film too, not to mention that, but he was so amazing, the Lubitsch touch. But I told Alicia, I said, Alicia, you have to get to be, she's never seen it. And I said, I just want you to see how great it was for a comedian like Jack Benny to work with an actress like her. And I sort of feel like I'm getting, I'm touched by an angel here, so to speak, that I'm working with someone who has such elegance and is so attractive but funny simultaneously. She has a gift, Alicia. She's very special, and Lombard too, and particularly, and that was like about the Nazis invading Poland. It certainly wasn't like this, but this is vampire, so it's a dark film in a sense, and because it's about vampires, but it's lighthearted. But she has a way of being a vampire and likable. And not too many actresses can pull that off, and she does it. She does it better than anybody I could think of.
Excellent. Well, Richard, I thank you very much for the interview. I think that's all we have for now. So
oh, okay. Again, my neck will not be sucked. Maybe in a chapter they can add it.
We'll tell Sigourney Weaver.
Well, I'm going to go to her apartment in New York and beg her to suck my neck.
My name's Goody, and in 1841, I was bitten by a vampire. And that's Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. When I was a day player, I was doing a lot of E.
Look how cute she is. What are you doing?
Don't you hate it when you sprout fangs, parts whitened and the other parts dingy?
Running around to clubs and dating idiots.
A little bit won't hurt.
Staying young is getting old.
Morning. I met someone at school. He's goofy, but cute.
What's his name?
His name is Joey Van Helsing.
What?
What did your parents say about me?
She's exceedingly white.
So you don't like her because of the color of her skin?
He's undead!
You think everyone is a vampire?
What are your intentions with my son?
What do you mean?
You plan to suck the life out of him?
No more than any other girlfriend. A lot of weird stuff has been going down. They're trying to force us out into the sun.
The neighbor said the cable company was there. Can Time Warner just burst into a person's home and kill them?
Yeah, they're terrible.
That was way too close.
And I didn't put in rollers. I'm gonna have coffin hair tomorrow.
The community is being persecuted.
Call in the heavy hitters.
We all gotta work together, folks.
How would you ladies like to be my wives?
Eat me.
Not literally.
Your wife is very sweet.
You will do what my accountant says.
CPA.
I feel like I'm really tripping right now.